Something happened. We can't... Oh, that's awful game design. New lobby.
Oh, it looks like
New lobby.
this lobby has died.
Did you get the stream up? We can still talk it.
Should be up.
I'm just taking a
Welcome
peek at
anyway. Seems we're having some lobby troubles at the moment, but regardless.
Yep, we
Welcome
are
to
live.
anybody tuning in here for the 2023 ARC F1 Austrian GP. Round 12 out of 25. It looks like we will be migrating here. Some technical difficulties early. Hopefully just getting them out of the way early as well.
Yeah, just got some drivers trying to get in. Just, okay, the session no longer exists.
Well, alright. Sorry, folks. Seem to be dealing with some kinks and whatnot in the new game. Lobby seems to have died on us, so we're going to dump and change. Give it one more shot.
Zane Bradley begging everybody to get on. It says he has Barbie tickets.
Uh-oh.
Yes, absolutely. Zane Bradley, folks.
He's got places to be. He's looking to win by a large margin so he can just get up and get out. Regardless, though, we're already up and live, so no point not being while we wait.
Mm-hmm.
Tonight we find ourselves racing at the majestic Red Bull Ring in Spielberg, Austria, where the hills come alive with the sound of Formula One. Track is about 4.3 kilometers all the way around, nestled in the picturesque Styrian Mountains.
Oh yeah, Styrian GP we had back in 2020. Get
That's
the
right,
old double header.
the double GP here. That was
Lando's famous podium.
that was something. The Red Bull Ring circuit's fast and flowing layout is a true driver's delight, featuring long straights that lead into challenging corners, and some demanding precision and skill from the drivers will definitely be necessary with some of those tighter low-speed corners. But plenty of straights here for them to stretch their legs and really get it going, see who can outdrag the other. DRS will obviously be playing a major role in this race.
Yeah, Red Bull, it's a fast lap here. Look for lap times. I mean, Max, I think, sat on pole this season with a 104.2, I think it was. Obviously, our drivers aren't real Formula One drivers. These guys are just, well, they'd love to be, but look for a pole time to be around a 105. Anybody gets in the 104s, I mean, like I said, Verstappen put a 104.2 up IRL, so, but this is a track that genuinely, it's a short lap, not too many corners. I believe Alex 12 corners, am I wrong? I'm trying to just remember this off the top of my head. I haven't looked at the show notes yet, but 72 laps usually in the race, so it goes to show you the length.
10 corners total here in Austria,
Oh,
it looks like.
I gave it 2 extra. Gave it that little chicane for the MotoGP they have now, so. Alright, here we go.
Alright, should be good to go now. Underway with qualifying will be in a moment.
Yeah, you're going to see some faces in different places today, too. Liam Craig, we've seen dominate the first race of the season. He finds himself signed to a team. He'll be driving the Alpine. And Team 44 trades away Matt Daly for Matthew Stotts. So Matt Daly will drive the Ferrari. Matthew Stotts in the Aston Martin
Yep, a
alongside
direct
AJ Cadickel.
one-for-one trade there. Interesting
The
to see.
mats were shifted.
Yeah. Mat for Matt, as it was. It's been quite a while since we've last raced, so the driver market has seen some shake-up, to say the least. Some drivers entering the series, some drivers exiting.
I'm not necessarily sure it's we haven't raced in a bit, or it's we've also just been doing things, or you were on vacation. I had some stuff going on. We weren't actually able to make the broadcast. I think there was 1 or 2 races. I can't remember.
Oh, that's weird. My schedule here says last race was June 23rd. about a month ago.
Well,
Regardless, here we find ourselves underway with qualifying the 12th GP, as mentioned, out of 25 this season. And so
full grid
far,
too.
I mean, it seems to be clear in a way the Williams just kind of walking the grid with this one this season. You can only hope for better competition down the line, you know. As we mentioned in all broadcasts, the Williams boys do seem to find themselves in trouble one way or the other come race day. But the difference between them and a lot of the other teams is they work their way out of it a lot better than could be expected, or would be the average, I suppose, for the rest of the grid.
Yeah. Mikey DeYoung, well and truly clear. It's 148 to 1. Is that, am I looking at this right? Jonathan Jurgensmeyer finds himself in P2 in the championship with 119 points.
Very quietly, very steadily, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer just holding down the fort there at the Haas team.
Yeah, it's all to play for P2 in the championship. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer in P2 with 119. Al Hasmi P3 with 113, and Boryoshi for FBR with 111. So just 8 points separating second, third, and fourth.
Interestingly, we did just see in a peek of the tire detail, there are a few cars out currently on medium. Looks like 2 to be precise. Already a quick caution. Somebody may have had a little bit of an off. It does seem to be
Yeah, I'm
the
trying to pull my
Aston
track
of
map up. Telemetry.
AJ.
There we go. Yeah, 2. Jackson Tate, who sits in the AlphaTauri for today's race alongside Fabian, medium, as well as Luke Allen in the Red Bull.
Cautions coming and going. We'll probably see that throughout the first few laps of this session, as people are just kind of, you know, shaking the dust and the rust off.
Yep, just trying to see who. The track is crowded up there at the top of the hill there in turn 3. Already got a couple cars that have already invalidated their laps. Trying to see who's gonna set a lap first.
I see Jurg is on a hot lap himself. I believe Matt Daly might be. No, he's still on his out lap. Andrew Daly, however, or Andrew Davis, I'm sorry. First to put a time down, it's a 105.1, and it is quickly beaten by Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, laying down that 104.96.
Yeah, Jared's really been on it lately. I think he's just one of those drivers that quietly just super consistent, and the pace has just been increasing with every race this year. Had a great Monaco, stayed smooth. So,
And in the meantime, it's Mikey DeYoung to the top spot for the moment with the 104.6. Travis slots into P3 with the 105.0. Decent time, but as the track represent, I'm sure we'll start to see them fall much further than what we're seeing now.
Liam puts in a blistering time of a 117, but it looks like he did an extra outlap on the tires because he just set the fastest Sector 1. Oh, Matt Daly and his new team goes P2. Oh.
And it's Ethan Fonseca to provisional pole with the 104.0. All right.
I love how I said 104.2 is max. I don't know if you might not see it, and I'm instantly proven wrong. 4 minutes into qualifying. But here comes Liam. There it is. Oh,
Time starting
103.8.
to come across. Oh, and it's Zay. I believe that's Zane Bradley. In the Mercedes, puts himself into P3. However, it is Liam Carrick first into the 103s with the 103.8.
Here comes Fred in the Alpha.
Yes, and we will
Had a
see
good sector,
Jamie
too.
Knock lay down a 104.8. Good for P5 for the moment.
Boryoshi starting a lap? Yes.
You want to follow along for it? Give us
Yeah,
a
I might as
rundown
well.
of the layout?
Yeah. This is a huge uphill. If you could try, yeah, you'd like that lap car to just be in the way, get the slipstream, but heavy on the brakes, light on throttle. Not many turns here at Austria, so it's you see the lap times, we're just over a minute, so one little mistake can ruin an entire lap, but so far so good for Boryoshi as he heads into 4. So smooth, the early upshifts to keep the wheel spin low too. Go into 5, real quick flick, try and keep it, drive it out as wide as you can. You see, take as much of the curb without invalidating. We saw track limits play a factor in real life, not a factor here yet. And this one's just blind apex, flick it, keep as much curb, yep. Just like that, the lap's over. What's it gonna do here, Boryoshi? P5.
Good for P5 with the 104.7.
Yeah, this track's really, really fun to drive. It flows so good. It's one of those tracks that everybody loves. It's just not necessarily good for overtaking, but you just get in such a rhythm over the course of the, what is it, 35 laps?
AJ Knickel should be the next to cross. Lays down a 105.7. 7/10 off of his previous best. Will not be moving up. Of course, only about a third of the way through this session. Plenty of time to allow the track to rubber in and lay down more laps.
Could be just an error thing, but it says that Matthew Stotts has gone purple in Sector 2. Matthew's in different places. Where's it going to put him? P2.
Good for P2 for Matt Stotts. Nice drive. Second driver it is into the 103s with the 103.94. Should be noted that the one full hot lap cycle from out lap to cool down lap is about 4 minutes here, one of the shorter cycles of the season. So with that, you know, plenty of time to work with, plenty of cycles to be able to run.
Track is so jumbled, it's very hard. I wish you could just select the driver as opposed to just scrolling through.
Few drivers yet to lay down a lap.
Yeah, Al Hasmi hasn't gone out.
Al Hasmi does seem to be starting his hot lap now, as he moves through turn 2 at the moment, up into 3. Smooth through turn 3, coming down the hill now.
Yeah, you can see it in the throttle application in the early shifts. There was no wheel spin.
Space being made for him very respectfully by the Ferrari. Should be a nice little lap here. Through 7 he goes. Now into 8. Very smooth on it.
Purple Sector 2.
Through 9 and 10 he comes across the line. Should be good for a decent spot. It is good for P3 with the 104.0. 3 1000s better than Ethan Fonseca.
Heating up at the front.
Seems to be only a few drivers, 2 to be precise, in the 103s thus far, but may see some more as this cycle, or this group of drivers currently out on a cycle gets through their laps.
Yeah, Luke Allen next across the line, but invalidated, so this lap will not count. It was a 105.5.
Well, third time's the charm, you gotta feel.
Yeah, at this point he's just gotta get one in, but that 105.5 would have only been good enough for P17.
2 cars yet to lay down a time, him and Jake Scarborough of the Haas, Fast Formula Racing. Doing pretty decent this season, holding down his spot, currently running? Let's see.
Scarborough's saving energy. It looks like he's on an out lap. He'll start his lap finally.
Huh.
Meanwhile, you have Ethan Fonseca trying to get ready, trying to make space before Luke Allen comes.
You know, looks like those in the pit may be biding their time, timing their final cycle for the track being at its most rubbered in point.
Not sure if Zane improved, but P5 nonetheless. I see they set a fast purple. Sector 3.
Zane, of course, was the man who called his shot by all means. Came into the league in his very first race. He called himself the win. Did not manage to get it, but he drove all the way back from 2 spins that put him at the back of the pack for much of the race, and came all the way back to, yes, this was Baku, I believe. Drove back from P20 to P2 to finish. Can't speak to whether he would or not have caught the leader, but still,
Luke
for him
Allen
to...
invalidates another lap.
Oh man, third time is not the charm for Luke Allen.
He's three laps on these tires and yet to put in a time.
Few drivers now on hot laps. Travis 1. Let's see.
Luke is just struggling right now.
Oh, I bet. Teammate Boryoshi doing decently, holding down P7 at the moment. Oh, gets beat out for P8 by, I believe...
That's Andrew.
That was Andrew Davis. Beats him out for P7, I'm sorry.
And Jackson Tate, I almost said Andrew Tate. Oops.
Jackson Tate with the 105.7 seems to have been invalidated though.
Liam goes quickest, even still, with a 103.722.
He does, puts himself 0.2 clear of Matt Stotts, currently in P2.
The thing about Liam is he's still P5 in the championship with 77 points, while not being a permanent driver.
No more drivers thus far besides him and Matt Stotts able to get into the 103s just yet.
Matt Daly starting his lap. Jackson Tate's coming around. He's 0.2 up on his time. Where's it going to put him? P17 only.
Moved up a spot.
We don't really see Jackson Tate on Formula 1, so... Not to say his pace isn't there. Another series in ARC.
Jackson Tate, of course, coming off a win 2 nights ago in the NASCAR Heat 5 series.
Oh, yes. Got the win at Atlanta. After a rain-shortened race.
After just about everything shortened race.
I mean, listen, the dude, you should see the guy finish P4. What a stud.
It was quite a race, nonetheless. Jackson Tate, though, probably not the win that he's most proud of, but regardless, points
Matt
either
Daly
way.
comes across the line. I think he's starting a lap, actually.
I think he might be. Looks like AJ Knickel has also just started a lap.
Oh my goodness!
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Has there
Fidel
been an
Fabian
incident?
through turn one, coming through turn one at the same time that Matthew Stotts was coming out of the pits, and Fidel almost spun into the. There's nothing. Stotts could have done. He was just coming out of the pit. He stayed low, but it's just the trajectory of the almost spin. But nothing happened, so moving on. It's interesting though. We see one Williams, but it's not the Williams we are used to seeing at the top of the sheets. Used to Mikey DeYoung, Al Hazmi. Still quick, but Mikey DeYoung's absolutely been hot thus far this season. And Fidel just retires.
He'll be sitting on a 104.9, hoping to hold P15 with that. However, there may be some advancement. Two Mercedes are almost head to tail right now, coming through turn 7. Zane is about 2/10 up on his time at the moment, and Clay is on an outlap, just looking to get a little toe through that middle sector. Zane will cross the line, and it will be a 104.184. However, may have been invalidated as his time does not seem to be updating.
That was invalidated. You got track map on?
I do, yes.
Yeah. See this red. Who's next? Dots improved by just 2/100, so not enough to beat Liam. Here's Mikey DeYoung on his final lap of the session. Championship leader.
As he starts it, he'll be looking to put himself a bit higher than P8. I'm sure his expectations for himself would be higher.
Yep, he's a 10th up.
Jamie Knock currently sitting P6. Looks to be next across the line. However, he will not be because he's ducking into the pits. P6 he'll have to sit on.
Liam goes faster still.
Oh, and it's Ethan Fonseca, next driver into the 103s, and puts himself on provisional P2 with the 103.7. Respectable lap.
What's it going to be for the championship leader, Mikey DeYoung? Final
Mikey
corner.
DeYoung coming across the line. Good for P5. Does not manage to outqualify his teammate Al Hazmi. 3/100ths behind. And there you have it, folks. The grid seems to be set for the 2023 ARC F1 Austrian GP. It is Liam of Alpine that takes provisional pole. Ethan Fonseca taking P2.
I believe AJ Knickel's out of fuel.
Well, I mean, wasn't really anything in the way of variables or things that can really go wrong in a track like this. However, it's ARC, so somebody will always find a way.
Yeah. Just look for the start here. Grip is everything, and that first corner can be a bit intimidating. Only the drivers in the pit could just retire. There we go.
Alright, so there it is. Grid is set here in the Styrian Mountains. It is pole position for Liam Carrig of the Alpine, Ethan Fonseca with P2 for McLaren, and Matt Stotts taking home that P3 for qualifying. Abdullah Al-Hazmi will start P4. Mikey de Jong takes P5, and we'll see Zane Bradley lining up for Mercedes in P6, Jamie Knock of Alfa Romeo in P7, Matt Daly in Ferrari driving from P8 today. Andrew Davis in Alpine starting in the top 10, P9, respectable start. Tyler Crabtree for McLaren will be starting P10, and Boryoshi, of Red Bull in P11. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer down in P12. Oh, I'm sure he was hoping to start a little higher, but he'll be getting there, I'm sure of it. Clay Smith will be starting from P13, and we're good to go.
Love receiving invites. Games. Just get a wonderful view of the paddock. Okay.
With the nice hillside in the background, really picturesque. You can see just a sliver off to the right of the screen of the cars lined up on the grid. But here we are.
McLaren.
Rich history at this track, and passionate fans, of course. The Red Bull Ring has become a favorite on the Formula One calendar. Lots of overtakes, lots of heart-stopping wheel-to-wheel duels. This track never fails to deliver on the excitement.
Yeah, it's. You can see a lot of the. If you up
Here
at the
we
top
are,
of the
5 lights
you can see a
on,
lot.
and it's
low.
lights out, and away we go from here in Austria.
To the formation lap. No, that's no formation lap.
Liam Carrig gets away well, and he's off to the races with Ethan Fonseca trailing behind. Mikey de Jong does manage to move up P4 at the moment with Abdullah Hazmi close behind.
Oh, it is a mess through the pack.
It looks to be a mess. Oh, and there's trouble in the back.
Whoa, an
Oh, big
AlphaTauri
trouble.
dive. Who's that? Is that Boryoshi having trouble there? Dropping down. Someone's jumped the start as well. I think that's Clay Smith.
Big accordion situation going on here. Lots of drivers running into the back of each other. Can't seem to find the line. Oh. Things seem to have sorted out for the moment at least.
Yeah, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer is already up into P6.
Jonathan Jurgensmeyer made up 6 positions in a span of about, what, 5 or 6
wide
quarters?
into.
Oh, Tyler Crabtree
ducking off.
possibly having some damage from that early shaking up. He'll be ducking in possibly for a new wing. A few cars behind him. Oh, Clay Smith to be specifically. And it's Liam Carrig with Ethan Fonseca in close company right behind.
Yeah, he's not letting him get away. He's staying in that 1 second range for DRS. Matthew Stotts there, and then the 2 Williams. They're kind of pulling a gap though to Jurgensmeyer there in P6, but still to be in P6.
Type of driver that still has his nose down regardless and is looking to make up any time he can. As you look down the order, it's Zane making the move on Travis and maybe forcing him wide, maybe Travis taking a wide line, but gets into the gravel, makes it back onto the track, rejoins in P15. Zane down to P13 for his troubles.
Fabian for company.
Fabian does manage to nip at him, gets him for that P15 spot. Travis will be racing now from P16. As Zane ducks into the pit, possibly seeing damage from that incident.
Oh, here goes Ethan. Yeah, DRS.
Can he make it stick? Oh, he does. Very nicely through turn 3 he goes.
Liam's gonna have a dose of DRS. Yeah, whoa, 10-second penalty for Ericsson Frederick for corner cutting. It's a massive penalty. Oh,
and it's an
okay.
early retirement. Could have been a mechanical failure. Just
I
don't
believe
know.
he's just. That's a start and retire. You can see where he's retiring on track. It's still moving. And while we were talking about that, Jackson Tate gets a 5-second corner cutting penalty as he drops back behind Luke Allen.
So, here we are. Ethan Fonseca sat back for a lap or two, and then he said, game on. It's him and Liam for the lead now, with Matt
Liam
Stotts
looks
close behind.
Liam down the inside. Oh, a little bit argy-bargy. Stotts getting into the back of Ethan, which is going to open the door for Mikey DeYoung around the outside. I don't know if he got damage from that. Ooh, squeezing the Williams.
Wheel to wheel they go, and it is Mikey DeYoung who just manages to slip in there. However, Abdullah Hazmi close behind, waiting to pick up the scraps. Oh, and it's Ethan Fonseca stepping way out.
Yeah, Zane having a spin there. Oh,
Another early
safety car.
retirement.
Safety car.
Uh-oh.
What has happened here? Riding on board with Zane as we get to... Oh, he's just lost traction, got into the inside wall here. That's Tyler out of the race.
Looking at the position change data here, it's Zane catching some early trouble, moving all the way down from P6 to the back of the running order now, P18. And Jamie Knock, it seems, also catching some trouble, down from P7 to P17. Biggest gains? Looks to be Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, of course,
Yes.
right off the start. Only took a few corners, moved right up from P12 to P6, as well as Jake Scarborough, who got himself up from P17 to P11.
Only 5 minutes, just take a look, see if we get anybody. Zane
Oh.
saying he choked.
Yeah.
Ayrton Frederick, pain. That's all he got out.
Still under safety car as we wait for some stragglers to catch up with the pack.
Ayrton Frederick said, I don't even know what that was, and I'm too embarrassed to continue. Have fun. It's always fun to just check in when there's a safety car and people are able to pause and just see what they have to say to each other via the Discord. No one's pit. We still have. Let's just let me take a look at pit stops. We have only 2 active drivers at pit. Actually, that's a lie, as Clay is in the pit right now.
Yep, some early stops for damage, it seems. Back out we go. Interesting variety of tire choice here.
Yeah, this is only helping Liam, who's going to be able to... The longer he can extend the hards, which you can see clearly has pace, he's able to battle with Ethan, who's on the softer medium. So when that switch inevitably happens where Ethan goes to the hard, because you got to think there's no way you go medium soft, so... But Liam could extend to the point we could go hard soft, so... Just don't know.
We'll have to see. Early trouble, of course, may be a sign of more to come. Ethan Fonseca, though, already showing some great pace around here. He is, of course, on the softer compound tires, so it may not be in Liam's best interest to put up much of a fight, if a fight is necessary at all.
Yeah. See, Jackson Tate's gone to the soft, so he'll be quick, looking to gain a bunch of spots, but not sure how they'll last. Oh, Liam's gone.
He is gone. He is gone. Going into the final corner. Across the line we go, and we are back under green. We are racing once again here for the 2023 ARC F1 Austrian GP, round 12 out of 25.
Whoa,
And
there's
some
a
early shake-up.
Matt Daly into the grass. Not sure what happened, but they're 3 wide up in front of him going into, and they've sorted themselves out.
Looks like it, to some degree
What
at least.
What a move by Andrew Davis.
Travis
Oh,
going
there's trouble
off
in
in
the
a
back.
big spin. Oh, and it's Jake Scarborough getting somebody's nose into his side pod and just giving him the old turn. Does not lose too terribly because of it.
Yeah, him and Luke Allen got a bit disconnected there from the rest of everybody.
Hopefully no damage to either car. It does not seem like there is on the Red Bull. The Haas also seems to be okay. And on we go. Man, Liam Carrick already pulling out almost a second gap to Ethan Fonseca.
Oh.
But a big step out and manages to save it. Some Tokyo drift through turn 10 there. Back up the hill they go. Into turn 3. So smooth in and out.
Jake Scarborough spun going into the pit.
Oh no. Luke Allen already finding himself in the pit, possibly for some damage repair.
Yeah, him and the Haas got together there. Somehow, some way at the top of the hill in 3. But here comes Mikey DeYoung.
Well, the gap from Liam back to Ethan already up to a second. It will be Mikey DeYoung, of course, looking to play some leapfrog here with Ethan if he can manage it. Teammate of his Al-Hazmi back in P5, possibly looking to do the same over Matt Stotts soon enough. Ooh, a big step from Ethan there. Manages to correct and save.
See a lot of these guys just the rear stepping out quite a bit. I don't think anyone was as big as Liam's though. Ethan's still he got the DRS, so didn't Mikey DeYoung.
Through 3 they go and look to be about holding station here. The gap actually down about 3/10, almost 4/10 already. Just in those first 4 corners. Mikey DeYoung making the move on Ethan Fonseca. Holding him out off the line, boxing him, not giving him any space to get around. That is some expert defense. Ethan, of course, looking to make the quick move back while he's the closest and in the best position to be able to. Mikey just shut the door on every chance that Ethan felt he had, though.
Yeah, Mikey's gonna have to get a move on here. He's got the better tires. He's got to use it to his advantage. Gets a great run out of 1. Where does Liam let him go? Does he let him go to the inside? Does he cover the inside? Does Mikey go for the inside? Nope.
Right up to his
rear wing.
Yeah.
I think
looking
Mikey
up the inside once again, and he seems to have got him on this one. He will stick to the inside, fading to the outside, and he has made it work. Up into the lead goes Mikey DeYoung. Liam Carrick, of course, in tow, very close behind.
Yeah, does he come back at him?
See, that's the question of tire stability here, you know. Is it worth taking a fight and knowing that you're going to take maybe a lap out of the tires for your trouble? Or is it worth just, as we just saw, waiting for Mikey DeYoung to possibly make his own mistake? Mikey DeYoung going wide there in turn 10. However, this lead pack does seem to have pulled away quite considerably from P1 to P5, where Matthew Stotts currently finds himself at the end of this lead pack chain. And it's Jamie Knock looking to make the move around the outside of AJ Knickel. Ooh, some wheel banging.
And Jonathan Jurgensmeyer there too. Boryoshi watching it. Looks like they're about to go 3 wide. Oh boy.
Oh, Jurg way outside.
Wow.
Takes the problem to them.
Well, that was his position before all this really started.
He does have the inside line through here.
Andrew Davis just chucks it up on Boryoshi. It was contact. And again, contact. And he's... Questions... And... Alright. Questionable defending from the Alpine, and rightfully so, gets absolutely chucked off the surface. I apologize, folks.
There's one for your troubles, mate.
Yeah.
Onward Boryoshi goes. But yes, this lead pack now making quite the time. The gap was about 4 seconds, maybe 3/4 of a lap ago. Now hovering around 6 seconds.
AJ's coming back at Jonathan Jurgensmeyer down the hill. But Jurgensmeyer's got DRS on. Who is that? Jamie Knock. Ooh, so close.
It's close, but it is Jonathan Jurgensmeyer getting the most of it. Wow, he came away looking
that left
real nice.
rear, so close to just being clipped on the front of the wing of the Alpha. They're just switching these spots back and forth.
Big step there from Jamie Knock. His car was literally 45 degrees and manages to correct it. However, loses some momentum for his troubles. Oh, AJ Knickel way off there.
I'm not really a corner you want to go too wide in. It just tries to wash out wide to begin with, and having a car to your inside, not being able to hit the apex, kind of sucks. You're at a disadvantage on the outside.
Some good defense seems to be had up front as Liam cannot make a move back around Mikey de Jong, however staying right with him, even on the hard compound tire. And Abdullah Al-Hazmi still not making his way around Ethan Fonseca yet.
Yeah, Matthew Stotts has dropped back from that podium spot all the way back to 5th.
He is, however, running the hard compound tire as well. However, he was maintaining about half a second gap to the rest of the pack, but now down to almost a second and a half, losing about a second in the last lap and a half or so.
Luckily for these guys, though,
Jonathan Jurgensmeyer out of that middle pack of the 6, 7, 8, 9 drivers, actually now all the way back to what looks like P12. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer came right up through it, got his 2 positions that he needed out of 6th and 7th, and he said, see you later. Gap now almost about 2 seconds to the rest of that pack.
Now, Boryoshi and AJ are going to have a run on Jamie Knock up the hill. The whole name Fred in the username throws me off to say Jamie so much. I catch myself all the time instead of saying Fred. Instead of saying Jamie, I almost say Fred. But like all these cars right here from 7th on down to Jackson Tate and 12, all within the train. Like you said, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer was lucky to. Now he had fallen. He was in 6th, and they somehow came up to attack him, and then since then just pulled back away. Might have had a moment. I'm unsure of why they were able to catch him to begin with, but it seems like he's pulled the gap back out. Ferrari ducks in. Matthew Daly pitting.
Few early pit stops here, in line with their strategies, of course. Ethan Fonseca right up to the back of that Alpine of Liam Carrick now.
Ooh, lots of wheel spin for Ethan. Oh, here we go up at the front.
Oh.
Now, Liam seems to be struggling with the traction in the rear.
He does, yeah. Those
But
hearts
he's...
probably not rubbering in the way he
Ooh.
will. Big save. Big snap and a big save out of it.
He
However,
makes one mistake. Ethan's gonna have to capitalize on it.
exactly, that may open the door for Ethan now. However, Liam doing very well to hold it for now. And yeah, with the DRS, they just continue pulling away. Matt Stott's finally dropping out of the back of that pack. Now finds himself in a bit of no man's land.
Yeah. Fortunately, not losing time to Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, so... Ooh. Al Hasmi looks... He's 4. Now, the pace is gonna flip here. You gotta think... Liam's hanging with these guys on the hards. What's gonna happen when he gets to the softer compound tire? It's gonna be hard to beat. You know what I mean, Alex? He's got the pace here to be battling for the lead constantly. All he's doing is chewing up these guys' tires by just throwing a monkey wrench into their strategy.
Right. Yeah, I totally agree. And if these guys are planning to run just as long on their mediums, then Liam can go just that much longer.
Zane Bradley retires from the race. Zane Bradley, is that his name? Zane Bradley?
Yeah, he's been out for a bit though. He retired after some early damage.
Oh.
Ethan can't help but think he may be just biding his time. Oh, but Liam looking to make the move up the inside of Mike de Jong finally does into turn 3.
And there goes Ethan.
And Ethan making his move on Mikey, possibly. Mikey just barely out dragging Ethan.
Oh. Mikey cooking it too much into 4. Gets into the back of Liam. What a battle though for P1. All the while, Hasmi's just hanging back, just looking to capitalize on anybody's mistakes.
P1 to P4, all within a second of each other at the moment. Now not quite.
Now the second Mercedes will retire. Not a good day for the Mercs. America, Austria 2018.
And it's Mikey right back up on the bumper of Liam, maybe looking to make the move back. He does. He looks up the inside, coming back up the hill for turn 3. And he does have the spot on Liam for the moment.
Liam's gonna get DRS though.
Liam now will have to go around the outside. No, he will not. He'll just slot right in front of Mikey, apexing the corner perfectly, and into P1 he goes once again.
Looks like Al Hasmi is in his pit window. All the medium tire runners. Looks like everybody's in their pit window. But no one opting to pit.
Not at the moment, it seems.
As Mikey de Jong learn from his mistake and not go for the overtake here with DRS and just wait for the second straight instead. He did that when he initially took the lead. Yeah, he's going to hang back. Try and get a good run out of 3. Yep, especially with the wheel spin on the Alpine.
Looking to make the same move back on Liam that Liam had made on Mikey the previous lap. And he does make it stick, slots right in once again.
It's been a pretty clean race, not a lot of incidents. We saw just one involving a Haas and Red Bull. That's about it. Some self-spins, self-damage. I say that, and there's
Another early retirement,
Jake Scarborough
it seems.
out of the race. No safety car or anything.
And it's Mikey
Mikey
DeYoung
de
pitting
Jong pits.
from the lead on his medium compound tires. And it's really now just to see how much longer Liam can stay out on his hards. Can only be assumed that Mikey will be going on to the soft tires.
Oh, it's got to be hard for Mikey de Jong. Yeah.
It is hards for Mikey DeYoung. Wow.
Yeah, 16 laps on the softs are gonna be you'd be hard pressed to do that. Oh, I didn't even realize this. Boryoshi moving himself up into 5th. Oh, that's because of the pit stop. I'm silly. That's crucial. Mikey de Jong didn't come out in traffic either, too. He's got clean air.
Jonathan Jurgensmeyer making quick work of Travis there. Moves up into P10. Not sure what must have happened to him, but was running pretty well. Just currently snatched himself up P10. Will be looking to make more from it. Next
now
car
where
ahead.
does Mikey de Jong cycle through? Everybody else is in the pit.
That will be the question. Will Mikey de Jong beat Liam back out of the pit? He does.
But crucially, Liam's got the best tires on the grid.
It is all defense here from Mikey de Jong.
Let's see what he's got for overtake. Oh, and he's already making the move. Here comes Liam.
He does make the move, and he does make it stick.
Al Asmi's finally able to jump the McLaren, too.
Only by a slim margin, though. Ethan electing to go onto the hard tires will be fighting to make that spot back up. Al Hasmi also being on the hard tires now.
Boryoshi ducks in. That leaves AJ Knickel to take the lead of the race, but he's got company.
Well, mark it, folks. It will be one lap led for AJ Knickel of the Aston Martin. However, Liam Carrick says thank you very much.
Mikey
and so
de
too
Jong
does Mikey
says
de
thank
Jong.
you. And Ethan comes back around the outside of Al Hasmi, too.
Right up to the back of AJ Knickel he goes.
Ethan's going to want to get this done quick so he doesn't lose the back of the front two. AJ Knickel on 21 lap old tires as opposed to 1 lap old tires. Al Hasmi looking to make the move around the outside. Yikes. Makes it sick though. AJ wisely backs out. But Matthew Stotts sitting there in P6 on the medium tires as well, so hopefully he has a bit of pace and get up there and finally fight with these guys.
Those front four that were initially before the first pit cycle, all within about a second of each other, now find themselves all about a second away from each other, interestingly. Few of them within DRS range, few of them not quite.
Oh, who's that? Andrew Davis is having problems. Seems to be ducking to pit. Yeah, he's missing lots of end plate damage there.
Yep. It will be a damage repair for the Alpine, and an early retirement at that for some mechanical troubles.
And there were 14. 6 retirements.
Nope, on we go. And it's the top three that seem to have built out somewhat of a lead to Abdullah Hazmi back there in P4 at the moment. Matt Stott's just kind of chipping away.
Yeah, slowly been chipping in the past 2 laps. Al Hasmi's kind of been dropping back, but these guys are all in a train here, so Liam does not have any overtake left. So So
Only about 12% for Mikey, so
AJ finally pits to the softs. So he's going to try the 12 laps on the softs. He's going to need him. Drops out of the points. He was battling with Boryoshi, and now he finds himself 6.5 seconds, almost 7 seconds back from him. Oh, Jackson Tate went wide. It's opened the door for Jamie Knock. Takes the position.
Jonathan Juergensmeyer, of course, very quietly moving himself up. P7 or P10 before the pit cycle, now finds himself P7 after having cycled back out.
Matt Daly, too, having a great drive. After the Matt trade, the Matts find themselves Matt to Matt.
It is a Matt v Matt battle, or we can only hope that it is. It's about 10 seconds of a gap from a Matt v Matt battle at the moment, but would be a lot of fun. This is the first race that I've seen with them on their new teams, so congrats to both of them. Hope
Same
it's
here.
a good fit. Hope everything's going well. It seems to be. I mean, results based just so far. They seem to be comfortable in their new homes.
Yeah, both leading their teams respectfully right now. Yeah, Al Hasmi is completely lost to these guys, while Stotts is slowly reeling them in.
Stotts is working his way up to Al Hasmi, and you can only hope that they will work together with each other to catch that lead group. However, it is a tight DRS train from Liam down to Mikey down to Ethan.
Yeah, this might end up holding them up and bring Al Hasmi back into it. Actually, never mind. It's 3 seconds.
Gap now over 3 seconds. Was about 2.5 on our last comment. Something may have happened, or they may just be pulling away at that much speed. They're
Yeah, they're
all locked in each other's DRS.
Luke Allen pits. Probably gonna go, yep, soft tires and go on the Red Bull. 5 seconds for his trouble. Jonathan Juergensmeyer is pulling in Matt Daly here. He's within a second, so. I have an insane audio glitch. Oh my Lanta.
Tight they are. Mikey DeYoung thinking for a moment to go up the inside of Liam. Thinks twice of it. Tucks back into the line with Ethan Fonseca close behind. And Matt Stotts slowly but surely, by a margin of about 3/10, 4/10 per lap, he is catching the back of Abdullah Al-Hazmi. Matt Daly, however, on the opposite end of that spectrum, he is dropping time to those top 5. Gap now about 15 seconds, with Jonathan Juergensmeyer close behind.
Yeah, he's been reeling them in. He's within striking distance now. He's got fresher tires, albeit 3-lap fresher tires. They're still fresher.
Jamie Knock, only a blink out of DRS range, now finds himself well within on the great exits through 9 and 10.
That's where you're going to start to see people get pulled together like we've seen that's top 3. We'll see if there's actually passing here. Juergensmeyer's got the run.
He'll be looking up the inside, up the hill, into turn 3. Does have the inside. manages to make it stick. P6 for Jonathan Jurgensmeyer for the time
Jamie
being.
Knox not gonna say, take advantage of that open door.
Yep, Jamie Knox says thank you very much and gets Matt Daly right after Jurg. Penalties abound. Out of the remaining runners, almost half of them will be serving a penalty come the end of the race.
None more so than Jackson Tate, who's acquired 20 seconds of penalties.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
Jamie Knock may be looking up the inside of Jonathan Jurgensmeyer. Thinks twice of it. Will be holding.
Whoa.
Oh, a big step there for Jurg. May have been some contact on his rear with Jamie Knock. However, manages to correct it very nicely. Oh, Jamie Knock going way off. May have been avoiding an accident. May have just broke too late, but loses out on P7.
Back in. And also, mentioned when they came out of the pit, AJ Knickel was 7 seconds behind Boryoshi, and now that's down to just 2 seconds, so the soft tires working for the Aston Martin. Oh, I can't describe this audio glitch and how absolutely miserable it is to hear.
Mike de Jong thus far into the stint still defending masterfully, it must be said. Liam might be happy just to hold back on the fighting for now, knowing that he's on the softer compound tires, but, you know, common sense would maybe dictate that he probably should have got past him much earlier than this.
I think he's saving. He's saved a bunch of ERS, as opposed to same with Ethan. Ethan and Liam saving here, because I mean this could come down to just a maximum push last lap. I mean, you got 3 guys that are within 0.7 of a second. Could very well come into whoever gets to the bottom of turn 4 in the lead could take the win.
Oh, and it'll be another time penalty for Liam.
Oh no, that's
his first time penalty, actually.
Yeah, it's 3 seconds, so
that is now half the grid, half the remaining grid, that is, with a time penalty.
Liam is not gonna like that. There's no way of pulling a 3-second gap. We've seen, if there was a way to pull a 3-second gap, I'm sure one of them would have done it by now. Boryoshi still hasn't gotten by Matt Daly yet. AJ's still slowly gaining on him. If Al-Hazmi can get on it too, he could. It's only 0.8 off of a 3-second gap. He could snatch a podium away from Liam if he could just get up there. And Stotts is falling back off of him. We saw Stotts gaining, but that's kind of leveled out.
Has the gap from Al-Hazmi to Ethan Fonseca just seemingly growing at this point. So we may have our podium just kind of running away with each other right now. Five laps remaining, and still Liam Carrig, after having overtaken Mikey DeYoung, will be racing on the softer compounds, and this is the point where it's just takeoff mode probably for Liam. Whatever good grip you have left in these tires is probably worth making a gap out of now, knowing that Mikey just doesn't have the same grip level to be able to on the harder compound.
Yeah, but they haven't been able to take off from each other all day. They've just kind of been stuck. And if you did pull a gap, it would have to be the 3-second variety, so. Just doesn't seem like it's doable.
It doesn't, but even more insurmountable may be Abdullah Hazmi and Matt Stott's climb back towards the podium positions. More time dropping. However, even more interestingly, gap down to the trailing group, starting with Jamie Knock and including Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, Boryoshi, and Matt Daly, and AJ Knickel for that matter. Their gap to the top 5 has grown quite considerably. It was about 10 seconds for a lot of the time. Now it's hovering around 18 and a half. So,
Yeah, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer and Boryoshi, the only cars in that group, as well as AJ, who don't have any time penalties. Whereas Jamie Knock and Matt Daly have 6 seconds apiece. That's
and I'm sure
huge.
those will come into play in a few laps here, yep. Oh, as Liam takes Mikey. Mikey had the lead back for a moment, but Liam does hit him with a switcheroo, it looks like. Gets it right back, and Ethan trailing Mikey, maybe looking to pick up the scraps, maybe smelling some blood in the water. For the moment, though, they will hold tight.
They're going to start pouncing on each other here.
They'll be crossing the line here with 2 to go.
All 3 of them coming up on the back of the Red Bull. So Liam could try and play this and just maybe hold the pace back and then just get DRS.
Oh, Mikey looking to make the move. He does make the move. Around the outside through turn 2 he goes, up into 3, a clean exit. Liam not close enough to make a move back on him at the moment. Or is he? He tries to. He hangs it well on the outside. Now looking up the inside on the switchback move. Does not have the momentum. Did not get a good enough run off the exit, and is Mikey holding on through turn 6 and into turn 7 now.
Do you want to be the leader on the last lap here, Alex?
Well, I mean, out of this group, if I'm on the hard compound tire, I would rather trust my defense, yes, than try to be playing offense on the hard, knowing that the driver behind me is on mediums.
Mikey DeYoung's kind of taken off as Liam tries to defend.
Yeah, big action there with Ethan Fonseca looking to make the move onto Liam for the second podium position. Points to be had here as we find ourselves on the final racing lap. Up the hill into turn 3 we go, and it is Mikey DeYoung holding on tight. Ethan Fonseca into the back of Liam Carrig. Slight contact, does not seem to have caused any trouble, but it has killed his exit. Still well within DRS range, of course. These cars all very close to each other. Maybe some more contact there was tough to tell. Liam, of course, should be noted, the only one out of these podium runners sitting on a time penalty. And it is Mikey just kind of building out a bit of a gap already. 1 second, just about, back to Liam and Ethan. Through turn 9 he goes. And across turn 10, across the line, and it is Mikey DeYoung and Ethan Fonseca moving up a position off of Liam's time penalty for the second podium position, and Liam, of course, rounding out the podium. What a race from these 3. They really did just pull away for much of it, sticking right with each other in one big chain, and everybody else was playing catch-up on them. Abdullah Hazmi does manage to hold on. The fight being mounted by Matt Stotts probably needed a couple lap or 2 or 6 or so, but That is a great race from him as well, coming home in P5. Jonathan Jurgensmeyer holding steady in P6. Of course, off the start, moving up to P6 and then having quite a race from there, fluctuating. Manages to hold P6 for good points in Boriyoshi, taking home P7. Less than 1/10 of a second behind Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, so must have been quite the fight to the line. AJ Knickel taking P8, and it's Jamie Knock in the Alpha taking P9. Matt Daly will hold the final point scoring position on the day in P10, one position ahead of teammate Travis. And those will be the point scorers from here in Austria.
Those front three gave us a show up there for the majority of the race. It was
Yeah,
the
what a
only
race.
time it was really separated was when the pit cycle happened. I love Austria.
As we try to get some of our podium drivers to the media pen, we will be sort of waiting on them as we watch the proceedings. It really was such a great drive from these three, and a few good, solid, quiet drives had throughout the field. Of course, a track like Austria, there's not much room for fireworks and crazy things to happen. It's a very straightforward track as far as the racing is concerned. So, all we really saw was retirements off of individual mistakes and whatnot, not too many major incidents.
I'm just trying to get the last person.
After the point scoring positions, though, Travis, of course, taking home P11 with Fidel in P12, one position ahead of teammate Jackson Tate in P13, Luke Allen in the Red Bull taking P14. And who else do we have? Oh, we've got Andrew Davis of the Alpine, P15, the last retirement. And then all the rest of the retirements from there were Jake Scarborough, Clay Smith, Zane Bradley, Tyler Crabtree, and Ayrton Frederick.
Lots of penalties today.
Of course, once again, podium being Liam Carrick taking P3, Ethan Fonseca P2, and Mikey DeYoung coming away with another win here in the 2023 ARC F1 season.
Speak of the devil, Mikey DeYoung joins us now. Mikey, another solid race, another win, and increasing that gap in front. Walk us through the race, man.
Well, I came into the race with not a lot of confidence, especially after the last two races that I did on this year's game. My luck has not been very well in this year's game, and the pace was not there either. But I've been practicing, I've been racing other races to improve my pace a lot more, and that helped getting myself close to Liam and Checo. What that was his old PSN, I guess.
Yep.
Checo.
That's Ethan.
Yes. Well, I mean, it was very hard, and it's because the DRS train. It was hard to overtake. Luckily, after passing Liam, I was able to defend from him most of the time, and when he was on the faster tire, I was fast enough, and he also made some mistakes, so I could stay behind him until his tires were dead. So yeah, that definitely helped, especially his 3-second time penalty, which made my mind calm a bit halfway in the race. So yeah, that
Yeah,
was
even with the 3 seconds, you still did it on track, just so there was no uncertainties going into maybe some post-race stuff there. But again, still, the consistency of your team this year has been absolutely spot on. Congrats on another win. Sober this time?
sorry.
Sober this time?
Yes, completely
Sober.
sober this time.
Ah, well, congrats, man.
Yes, thank you.
And Liam, you are one of the quickest guys on this game. Unfortunately, obviously you had the 3 seconds, but it seemed like in the first stint you were able to stay with them on the harder compound tires, but you weren't able to really pull a gap once you got to the softer compound. Walk us through that race and what the mindset was.
Mm, well, it's a bit of. Well, I knew I had the pace over everyone. That's very, very clear. When it came to the pit stop phase on my outlap, there was a slow Aston Martin that really screwed over my last few corners, which allowed Mikey to get back into my DRS. And, anyone that plays this game knows that the DRS is really, really powerful. So I knew I had the pace to win. I could have won, even if I had that 3 seconds late on in the race and if I gapped Mikey. I know I had the pace. It was just unfortunate timing from my end. But of course, it's always nice to see Mikey back on the podium, especially, well, here with me since I've been racing with him for God knows how long now. So.
Yeah, I mean, coming in, you is this your first permanent drive of the season on a team?
Yeah. I looked at my schedule and I should be free for the next few months. But once university gets going, I'm dropping that seat again. So, but
Well,
it's nice to be back full time on this grid, especially for how long I've been here.
yeah, I mean, considering you've just been sitting there as a reserve role, you are fifth in the championship with 77 points and slowly gaining on P4. So we could be looking by the end of summer, by the time you go back to university, you could be in a spot where you're in the top three. So
Well, we'll see. There's a couple difficult tracks coming up, shall we say, and anything can happen. So, well, we'll just crack on from there.
all right, man. Well, congrats on the podium and congrats on the seat. Look forward to seeing you guys battle on track in the coming weeks. That's it,
Yep.
Alex. We didn't get Ethan in here, did we? I don't believe so. No? Is he? Yes? No? No. The answer is no. No McLaren driver. So that's all I got, Alex. Alex.
Don't think he's here.
That's
Sorry, I was distracted for a moment.
oh, you're good.
Are we good here?
But, yeah, we are good here.
Alright. Well, signing off from the ARC F1 2023 Austrian Grand Prix. Thanks for tuning in, and make sure you do the same next week. See you then.
Tomorrow at 4, actually.
That's right, tomorrow at 4 for the Euro Series, if you're up for it, and plenty more races on the ARC schedule. Make sure you check online to see the next one that you could be watching or participating in yourself. Who knows? Well, we'll see you when we see you signing off from here.
Oh my.